thank you for your time. I would like to know from you, or I'd like to hear from you about your product.
Yeah.
You said before, but now we are recording. You are for the 45 years in business.
Yes, we made it in 1980. I made it together with a friend of me from school, and we began with loudspeakers.
Okay.
And today I have to say these loudspeakers had not been so good. They had been very loud. They used it in discotheques, and at that time I began modify amplifier from Sony and other brands.
Okay.
And we put other things in, and then we started with our first own product. It was a phono stage.
Okay.
And it was a large phono stage made from acrylic glass, and it had separate power supplies for left and right, very complicated circuitry. And there with it we had a photo in the Stereo Play. Stereo Play is a former German magazine.
Yes, of course.
And then people asked for products, and then I decided we put all the things that we normally make in modification of the other amplifiers, put in our own amplifier.
Oh, okay.
And in the beginning, I have to say, it was circuitry that was from Electro magazine in the beginning, and we made it with special acrylic glass, and we made it in the beginning with a trafo inside, and then we make it external. And then we had a funny thing. I had a dealer that know people at Stereo Play magazine in Stuttgart at that time, and he arranged that Stereo Play should listen to our product.
Okay.
And what happened? They were absolutely not interested in our product. So another one that is making amplifier, we are not interested. But okay, when you are here, okay, bring it in, and we try it. And he wants to make a cable test, and we sorted the cables, and there we had this big amplifiers from Accuphase, Krell, McLevinson, and they sit inside, and it's like trash. It was unbelievable. And they said, okay, I start I think it was in Accuphase, I don't remember. And they had the big Titan speakers, you know, these telephone cells. And he started music and listening to cables, and said, okay, now let's try your amplifier. And to his astonishment, he liked the music, and the further test he made complete only with our amplifier instead of the other one. And then we got, in our first review of the amplifier, we get absolute Spitzenklasse, means met absolute top, and then the journey begins. This was in 1985, and I began designing it in 1982. And then I sold even more, and now I'm doing it for 45 years.
So 45 years is a long journey.
Absolutely.
And you come very far. But what changed in the terms of customers and their demands?
Yeah, our amplifier was all-time special.
Okay.
They looked special, and I had a dealer in China. They told everybody they copy every product they have. Our products they have not copied, because the acrylic material, we made it in the beginning, we made it that it looks nice, but we found out that acrylic is sounding much better than metal. And then we put out the transformer, and we found this also improved the product. Then we started with MOSFET and found MOSFET is sounding better. Then we put other kind of transformers inside, and we making a similar product over the years. What looked outside the same, but inside we changed a lot. And in the first time beginning, when I said, the people all time thought separate pre and main amplifier is sounding better. But ours is a different approach because it's an integrated, but it's not really an integrated. That means it is an amplifier with volume control and input selector, and it has only one stage and signal path. And this made a different sound figure, and also with the special equipment, emitter had some distortions. Other amplifier had it not, and so it sounded very smooth in a little bit tube-alike, and people liked this kind of sound. And the older emitter had been very smooth but not much detail, and the newer one, as newer they got much more details, but still smooth. Now it's not connected, but when you hear it, you will listen that it has many details, very precise and extremely controlled bass, but in the same way not nervous and relaxing sound. That is what I wanted to do all the years.
Okay, do you have some other project in future on your mind, or?
I still have so many ideas, but the product in the moment is working well, and my most problem is that I'm the owner, I am the designer, I am the salesman. My company is not large, and when I have done all of this, there is not much time but I have so many ideas I'll write in a book, and when I have time I will think about to realizing, and also we had many of these ideas also realized inside. Also when you look at an amplifier from 40 years ago, it looks similar to this, but inside it's very different.
I must admit, I don't know who was at that time the dealer or distributor in Croatia, but it was 20 years ago when on some show in Zagreb, I remember first time I saw your amplifier.
20 years ago.
20, maybe even more. Anyway, I was stunned by the look. First of all, because of that acrylic cover.
Yes.
And it was a completely different topology of
absolutely
of any other high-end product, not commercial one. It was fantastic sound.
And
it was really something special.
I'm not a propaganda. I'm not a public relation guy. I speak mostly with my products, and I want to make a product that you are satisfied for very long time. That means you buy it, and we have customers that are buying our products in more than 35 years, and maybe all 10 years they change to a new one, and
the new model,
and it's better to have it long time satisfaction instead of half an hour. It sounds so amazing, and after half an hour you get stuck in the ears and want to leave. I remember we had it often best equipment of the year at the IFA. I remember they had so many 7 millions, and now I would say in comparison 7 millions is not so much. I think there are equipments here that are much more expensive than this, and I want to have things that are reliable, that are relatively okay. This is not cheap, but in comparison to others, it's relatively affordable, sustainable, and relaxing, and it gives you a good image so that you have a good that you like listening to music, and it gives you a relaxation and that you're happy with it.
When we are talking about prices, what's the price of this product?
This is 25,000.
Okay.
But it's a 150 kilo amplifier. It has two separate trafo supply and one separate battery power supply for the input stage, and it has let's say it should have about 1000 watts into 8 ohm, into 4 ohm. Into 8 ohm, it's about 600.
There's some amplifiers here on this show that cost remote control 25,000.
The remote control.
I'm just kidding.
The remote control is included and is made of Korean. What is
A special
special stone, and it has real knobs. And also we also include high quality power cables, because normally when you buy amplifier you get nothing. Stock cable, and we have a 250 euro
worth cable.
Okay, there are better cables for sure, but this is okay.
Full package. Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much for asking me and giving me the possibility to speak so much more than you said.
Hope to see you again.
And thank you for coming by and make this interview with me, and you can be so kind to send me a link when you have it.
Yes, it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.